On Osrc News at 7, Ondo State prepares for Global Entrepreneurship Festival, promises unmatched experience for 20,000 attendees. Senate approves President Tinubu's $2.2 billion loan to offset 2024 budget deficit. NAFDAC seizes 2 billion naira worth of counterfeit alcohol materials in Lagos raid. And from the foreign scene, Israeli airstrikes in southern Gaza killed 3 children in safe zone. Hello, thanks for joining us on the news at 7. Sahid Aribisala is my name. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa was accorded a warm reception at the Akure airport on arrival from Abuja after receiving the certificate of return following his victory at the just concluded governorship election. Party faithful, top government functionaries, political associates, and well-wishers were on ground to welcome home the governor and his deputy, Olaide Adelami. Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed his gratitude to people of the state, reassured of his dedication to the economic prosperity of the state. Ondo State is at the front burner of conversations in the business world as it prepares to host the Global Entrepreneurship Festival. As the preparation gets to final stage, business owners and residents are optimistic of its impact. The Chief Executive Officer of the International Culture and Events Center, the Dome, where the seasoned investors and entrepreneurs from across the world will gather, Mr. Akinwumi Falodun, said the facility has been upgraded to give a world-class experience. We'll bring you the details in the course of the bulletin. Begging, a persistent and complex issue, has become an increasingly visible concern in Akure, Ondo State. The presence of beggars on the streets affects their broader social, economic, and security, as well as environmental implications for the community. Abidemi Akinrotoye reports that a large number of beggars are majorly occupied around Old Garage and Arakale in the state capital. The report.
In the past, known beggars were the physically challenged and old men and women who had nobody to cater for them. It has metamorphosed into a thriving profession. Now, one sees well-dressed men and women, most of them carrying bags on the streets to ask for money. There are different categories of beggars. Some are maimed beggars, and there are cultural beggars such as the praise singer and mother of twins, or those with multiple births. Also included in the list are lepers, the blind, cripple, and corporate beggars. Others are the young and the elderly who are unemployable because they are either too young or too old. And the religious beggars who beg for alms to fulfill religious obligations. And the Bible-carrying men who are permanently at motor parks hawking their prayers for travelers. The alarming rise of begging in Akure has severe social, economic, security, and environmental implications, affecting the well-being of residents and undermining community development. Investigations reveals that majority of the beggars in Akure migrated from the northern states. Further investigations revealed that Akure's begging landscape include intergenerational participation with families. Are they into begging? Mr. Sunday Ojemu, a resident, expressed concern about the environmental implications of the beggars on the street, citing the pollution as a major consequence.
ìbọn ṣe wà ń bí tẹ́ bá súnmọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ rí àwọn òórùn tó ń jáde ibi tó ń ibẹ̀ náà ń tọ̀ sí ó ń pa wá lára nígbà míì.
He emphasized the risk caused by beggars occupying walkways and parts of the main roads.
Ibi tó ń wà yẹn ibi tó yẹ pé ìṣe risky place ìgbà míì bá accident máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tá bírèkì mọ́tò àfẹ́ẹ̀lì táwa pa wọ́n níbi last year àti irú ẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀.
Another resident, Ojo Boluwaji, shared a personal experience with some beggars, highlighting the persistent.
They are not even from this state, so they are causing a lot of trouble here. Even some of their children, anytime you are passing, they will just hold you, drawing you, give me money. And I don't even know their father.
Vital strategy to combat beggars in the state was also stressed.
Then locate their family. Let them interview them, take them back to their family and let their family take care of them.
Government appears not to be losing sight of the implication of the presence of beggars in strategic locations. Administrative Secretary in the Ministry of Women Affairs in Ondo State, Temitope Lebile, said renewed efforts are being made through massive raid and clearance of beggars and street urging from the streets in the state.
We can't afford to leave them out there to continue to constitute nuisance to the people. So in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we'll go out for enforcement to evacuate them and ensure that our streets are free from them. We have been doing it in some adjoining cities and towns, but particularly now we want to concentrate in Akure. And after we are done with that, we'll still move to the interiors and to major cities and towns. We need the state to evacuate them.
Street begging anywhere is a national disease that affects of the social, economic, religious, political, and educational structures. Rehabilitation of beggars, regularly sensitizing the public against begging, enacting a policy to inflict punishment, provision of sound education, and so on are identified as the remediating strategies against begging. Abidemi Akinrotoye, Osrc News.
Let's now bring you the report on the Global Entrepreneurship Festival to be hosted in Ondo State, as Ondo State is at the front burner of conversations in the business world as it prepares to host the Global Entrepreneurship Festival. As the preparation gets to final stage, business owners and residents are optimistic of its impact. The Chief Executive Officer of the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome, where the seasoned investors and entrepreneurs from across the world will gather, Mr. Akinwumi Falodun said the facility has been upgraded to give a world-class experience. The report. Ondo State is set to host the Global Entrepreneurship Festival, where thought leaders, innovators and entrepreneurs from various sectors across the globe will gather to celebrate entrepreneurial endeavors. The atmosphere here in Akure, the state capital, is already catching the festival's frenzy as the major roads leading to the venue, the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome, where the event will likely have all their sales.
I'm always here from Monday to Sunday. Sometimes Sunday I will skip. And of recent, we heard there's going to be a summit, and it's going to be a global summit owned by Ondo State government. I know it's going to add more values to our sales because a lot of people will be coming into Ondo State. The hotels are going to make sales. The market people are going to make sales because this event is coming up. And I am very happy that it's going to put our state outside to other states that we are making it in Ondo State.
Oh, I know they're around. I mean the problem of that one. And before yesterday, I returned for my travel. So that's why they're here, but so they can't see all these things. So I feel come there, can't check them. Whether I go abroad me for work.
At the International Culture and Event Center, where no fewer than 300 investors are built to gather for insightful conversations, the facility is undergoing comprehensive renovation and upgrade.
I want to make sure they don't block the speakers. Okay.
An asset management expert and chief executive officer of the Dome, Akinwumi Falodun, conducted Osrc crew to various buildings that we...
Everybody coming here will definitely be impressed with what we have in place. We have upgraded aesthetically. We've done making use of everything we have. There's going to be a concert on Sunday night, I believe, on the forecourts. That is ready. The main hall, if you go in there, is wearing a very festive look. They'll be making use of the Dome. I think they're having lunch there. They'll be making use of our massive parking spaces. We have a lounge that has been operating for about a year. They'll be making use of that as well. We're running helter-skelter, trying to get the nightclub ready. After this, we can go there. You'll see the amount of work going on. We're putting in about 100 million naira to get that nightclub ready for this event. The nightclub is not going to be launched until December, but we're trying to make it available to host the international visitors for this festival.
Falodun, a trained engineer, explains that aside the ambience at the International Culture and Event Center, leaving an unforgettable experience for the visiting business leaders, staff strength have been increased with requisite training.
We want to, at the end of the day, beat our chest and say we did it. And I'm sure we will do it. Anybody who has been to the Dome in the last 2 years will see the amount of work we've put in. You'll see the young ladies there. We're conducting training, getting them up to speed, letting them know what to expect and how to react. We'll be ready. Whatever traffic, we'll be able to handle it. By the time the world comes and they see what potential there is in this state, I'm sure things will never be the same again. And we have to commend our government for even thinking up this initiative, bringing the world to Akure, showcasing the potential of this city. We are, in my mind, second only to Lagos in terms of facilities. We boast of more hotel rooms than even Ibadan. We have the airports and we have the Dome. If all these three are properly utilized, and with the vast arable land we have, close to our governor for coming up with this.
Also evident within the International Culture and Event Center are young Nigerians putting finishing touches to their presentations for the festival, while others utilize their skills to create the world-class experience.
We're going to represent the formidable coffee partner. So to give that exec, feeling to the whole arrangement and such.
The Global Entrepreneurship Festival, tagged the world's biggest entrepreneurship festival, is slated from November 22 to 24, 2024 in Akure, Ondo State. The festival, themed Beyond Boundaries, Poverty Eradication Through Entrepreneurship, is projected to have in attendance early-stage and renowned entrepreneurs, seasoned investors, tech innovators, global leaders, and policymakers. The event will feature networking sessions and opportunities to foster innovations and deepen investments in Ondo State. Sahira Ribisala, Osrc News. Let's now tell you that Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa is back in Ondo State after receiving a certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, in Abuja. The governor, who returned to the state alongside his deputy, was accorded a warm reception at the Akure airport on arrival from Abuja, the nation's capital. Party faithful, top government functionaries, political associates and well-wishers were on ground to welcome home the governor and his deputy. Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed his gratitude to people of the state, reassured of his dedication to the economic prosperity of the state. Al-Qaeda to his arrival at the Accra airport earlier today. To the Jubilant supporters who welcomed him at the facility. But let's take a break on the news. We'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
To the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive. To God be the glory that we are witnessing another Christmas. This is why Osrc Media Group is inviting our clients, associations, and groups that patronized us last year that we are grateful for your patronage. We have outlined various programs for their delight this Christmas, like Christmas Carol on both our radio and television channels. Lessons of the season from Christian religious bodies or Dualayo is for businessmen and women and corporate business organizations, all at affordable prices. For enquiries, call Toyi on 080-3563-5646, Damilola 080-347-51621, Biodun 080-3373-7786. We will all celebrate this Christmas in abundance and joy. Osrc Christmas Committee announced.
Thanks for rejoining us at Still Osrc News at 7. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at Osrc TV and on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel, Osrc TV. Two more stories now. The Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria has said that television as a channel of communication remains the medium to beat in the advancement of democratic governance globally and particularly in Nigeria. In a statement by the Executive Secretary, Yemisi Bangote, in celebration of World Television Day, noted that the Broadcast Media Deregulation Policy of 1992, which allowed private ownership of broadcast media in Nigeria, has further kept television in the front line of democratic advancement. He urged media practitioners to ensure adherence to professional ethics. He however called on the federal government to approve the request of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria to endorse policies that will give a lifeline to the broadcast media. To the rest chamber now, where the Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's loan request of $2.2 billion to partially finance the 9.7 trillion naira budget deficit for the 2024 fiscal year. In a letter read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio during the Senate and House of Representatives plenaries, Tinubu had explained that the loan was integral to his administration's fiscal strategy for the coming year. He further directed the Senate Committee on Local and Foreign Debts to expedite its review of the request and present a report within 24 hours. Although the deadline lapsed on Wednesday, the committee submitted its findings during today's plenary, leading to the loan's approval. Now to the Green Chamber, where the House of Representatives has rejected a bill seeking to introduce a single term of 6 years for the offices of the President, state governors, alongside other constitutional amendments. The proposed bill, sponsored by Igegwono Ugochinyere and 33 other lawmakers, was voted down after a second reading motion. It also proposed rotating executive powers among Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones to ensure equitable representation and mitigate state creation agitations. Ugochinyere, while presenting the bill, said that the amendments aimed to ensure equal representation and reduce the desperation and tempo of agitation for the creation of states. When the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, who presided over the plenary session, put the bill to a voice vote, the House was louder against it than those who are in support of the bill. The Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Oluwatoyin Medei, has urged government at all levels to embrace a culture of savings and investment to ensure financial stability during challenging economic times. Medei made the call during an address at the 2024 National Council on Finance and Economic Development held in Bauchi State. The Accountant General of the Federation emphasized the need for transparency and accountability across all aspects of governance, warning that oversight should not be confined to financial management alone. The 2024 National Council on Finance and Economic Development brought together key stakeholders in finance and economic development to discuss strategies for improving governance and resource management in Nigeria. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has uncovered counterfeit alcohol packaging centers at Article Market, Abule Osun, Lagos State, seizing items worth an estimated 2 billion naira. An ABDAC statement via its social platform noted that during the operation, over 50,000 fake branded labels and packaging materials used to produce unauthorized and hazardous alcoholic beverages were confiscated. The agency revealed that the items were used in illegal production of alcoholic drinks that pose severe health risk. NAFDAC urged consumers to remain vigilant by purchasing alcoholic beverages only from trusted vendors and reporting any suspicious activities. To Cross River, where a 48-year-old man, Adamu Ibrahim Umaru, has been paraded by the Zone 6 Police Command in Cross River over an allegation of defiling and impregnating his 15-year-old daughter. Police spokesperson in the zone, Nelson Opabi, told newsmen that the suspect was arrested on Friday, November 15, based on a petition by one Aisha, the victim's aunt. The spokesman said that the petitioner stated that she noticed changes in the girl's physiology and took her to the hospital where tests conducted confirmed her to be 9 weeks pregnant. The police said that the victim in a statement alleged that her father was responsible for her pregnancy. She added that her father started having illicit affairs with her in 2023 in a hotel located in Calabar and had threatened to kill her should she reveal this to anybody. According to the police, the suspect denied the allegation on interrogation, noting that he could not explain how his daughter got pregnant under his watch, having separated from her biological mother years back. The suspect is, however, set to be arraigned in court at the end of the investigation in accordance with extant laws if found culpable. Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf has handed over the 76 minors arrested over the August #EndBadGovernance protest to their respective parents. The governor, who was represented by Chief of Staff Shehu Shagagi, handed over the children to their parents at the Muhammadu Buhari Specialist Hospital, where they were accommodated and treated for the various ailments they suffered during their remand. The governor, who commended President Bola Tinubu for ordering the release of the minors, urged their parents to support the state government in its effort to ensure that the children are educated to enable them to become useful members of society. He warned the parents who have an association to desist from using it to solicit any financial assistance from any individual, group, or organization, as the state government would not condone such an act. The governor assured the parents that the State Commissioner for Education would ensure that the children are given the necessary support to return to their respective schools. And outside Nigeria, police have barred residents from helping an operation to rescue hundreds of informal miners from a disused gold mine in South Africa. Members of the miners' community say the men have been trapped 2 kilometers underground by police for months. Police, though, say the miners are refusing to surface and face charges. Adoronke Claudia has more.
Mine rescue experts have taken over the top of the mine shaft, where hundreds of informal miners have spent weeks, possibly months below. Public pressure mounted after police were accused of trying to starve them out.
Do you have any idea where?
Volunteers from the miners' community said they delivered food, recovered several people alive, and one dead body with a rope last week. They are no longer allowed on the site.
They must speed up the process. People are dying underneath. People are starving underneath. People are dehydrated underneath. You see? So what they must do, they must just fast track their process.
The community volunteers hadn't brought anybody up since Saturday. Police say the miners are criminals and they are refusing to come out. They say they are free to join hundreds of illegal miners who came out the shaft of one of the few remaining operational gold mines nearby. Others who know the mines says the tunnels don't connect or have been blocked or flooded. More than a century of national resources extraction hasn't left lasting benefits for many people here. Most of the gold mines closed about 30 years ago. Many of the informal miners come from the nearby apartheid era township of Kuma. People here says the shop and bars are busiest when the
we are going to continue putting our lives in danger by
Olebong Marcock says international mining companies left behind gap in mine shaft and poverty.
those ones who shout about profit, where are they? They are living so nicely, cruising in their families, in their countries there. For us to earn a living, what are we going to do? We'll end up going down there so that we can have something to eat. If the government can just come to the party so that we can do this thing according to the law in a safe way so that we can prevent loss of lives.
The rescue operation could take days. Everyone is waiting to find out how many people are still underground and how many of them are still alive. Adirunke Kolawole, Osrc News.
3 children from the same family were killed in an Israeli attack in Khan Yunis. The strikes hit an area that is supposed to be a safe zone. It was one of a number of Israeli attacks across Khan Yunis. Blessing Obey has more.
3 children, Abdulaziz, Umza, and Laila, wrapped in bloodstained white shrouds. Their mother and father weep over their babies killed in an Israeli airstrike on Al-Muhazi.